Hello and welcome to O2 Inside Line, live from the O2 Blue Room at Twickenham. Welcome, thanks for joining us. Thank you for logging on. Thank you for just being here on this wonderful Saturday afternoon. We have a very, very special guest who's going to join us. Let's take a look in the green room, find out who it is. Let's welcome them in. There he is. It's the Man Mountain himself. Yeah, go on, you've got a floss. Come on, Chris Robshaw, do us the floss. There you go. Let's welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Robshaw. Welcome, Chris Robshaw, ladies and gentlemen. Big round of applause, come on. Great privilege to have you with us in the Blue Room, Christopher.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I've just realised how bad I am at dancing. And, I dance very much like a dad now.
Yes, welcome to my world, my friend. We thought we were so cool several years ago, but now it all changes, Let's take a look at what makes Chris so impeccable on the field. Yes, Chris. Oh, there's a shiver down my spine watching that.
You've got an awful lot of rugby club and so it never leaves you. The next time it never leaves you because it's a brutal sport, and I would imagine that some mornings you wake up, you're a bit achy. You know, you might have pulled a little ligament here and there, but the passion for the game is rife in the squad, isn't it?
No, look, you always love to play. I think when you wake up on a Tuesday and it's -5 and it's raining outside, you probably don't enjoy that as much. But look, when it gets to game day, that's what you want to do. You want to be out there playing, testing yourself against the best players in the world and the best teams in the world.
Love it. Let's talk about your injury. What have you done? How long have you got left?
So I tore my meniscus, which is basically the shock absorber in your knee. I did that 4 weeks ago, so I've got about another 4 weeks left. So it's all on track so far.
Okay, so when would you be looking to return? Would you be straight in after 4 weeks, or is there a bit of downtime to get ready to get match fit then?
No, that will kind of take into account that. So hopefully I'll be playing kind of mid-December time.
Oh, good. Good. Let's talk about the two England performances that we've seen so far. Close victory against South Africa and a close defeat against New Zealand. What's your quick summarisation of those two games?
Yeah, I think so far it's been a brilliant autumn series. I think it's been very exciting to beat South Africa, especially after the summer tour, and then to not quite get there against New Zealand. But I think it shows we're going in the right direction. Defensively, we were outstanding. Tactically, we were very good. And I think, look, he was onside, wasn't he?
Yes, 100%. Well done, Christopher, for booting the elephant out of the room straight away. We like that.
He was.
He was.
And what a finish, eh?
Yeah.
As a flanker, that was incredible from Sam Underhill.
Unbelievable.
Beauden Barrett didn't know where to go.
He lifted the world's #1 rugby player out of his boots. Didn't know where to turn, the lad. It was class. It was great to see, unfortunately. It didn't count. Gutted. This poor boy.
He'll still be on his highlight wheel, though, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. So we're facing Japan today. Different team compared to the Kiwis and compared to the South Africans, but we can't take our foot off the pedal, can we? Because we do have a head of steam and we've got momentum going into this game.
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of people always speak about complacency and stuff. And as a player, that's almost so insulting as a player, because you're a professional athlete. You want to go out there and do your best, prove your point every time. And when you're playing for your country, you're always going to prepare well. And today, I think everyone knows what they did in the World Cup a couple of years ago and how dangerous they can be. Obviously, there's a lot of history there with Eddie Jones and Steve Borthwick and what they've done for them. But also, it's the first time England have ever played them. So it's exciting in its own right. There's a lot of players playing for the first time. Big Joe on the wing. People like Jamie George coming in, Zach Mercer, these type of guys getting that start who want to go out there and prove a couple of points.
No, I've spoken to Eddie in the past, and he talks about his end goal is the World Cup. Judge him then. Don't judge him now, because these are building blocks. These are stepping stones towards the big tournament that takes place next year. And he's bringing in a lot of fresh blood, a lot of new talent. This can only encourage guys like yourselves, the more mature, the guys with more caps, players, to lift their game as well. So it's kind of a great momentum going into that tournament as well. Let's not forget, we've got the Six Nations as well at the beginning of next year.
I like the mature phrase, that's nice.
Yeah.
Not the older gentleman.
Yeah. Elder statesman.
Yeah, Eddie, look, as soon as Eddie came in from day one, he said, judge me on the World Cup. That's what we want to win. Of course, if we can win on the way and on the route, even better. But for us and for him, it was about the World Cup. And look, every campaign, he's always testing stuff out, trying different things. So when we get to the World Cup, we are ready. So look, today's another brilliant example to test the squad depth as well. Someone like Danny Kerr, who hasn't started as many games as he likes, but a great opportunity for him to go there. George Ford, captain in the side, his 50th appearance. Look, we've got a brilliant team out there. Don't underestimate our guys. There's some cracking talent who
I love the
start.
fact that you said that. Don't underestimate our guys, because there's always an air with England that something might go wrong. You know, but you're saying, look, have confidence in the guys, because that's what we're doing. This is our job now, and we know where we're at. Because Eddie is the right man for the job, isn't he?
Yeah, very much so. And for me, Eddie Jones is the best man manager I've ever known. He knows how to get the best out of players, and I think you see that every time players play for England, they always play better, because that's mainly down to him and the other coaches. In terms of the player, they want to go out and they know it's going to be a tough game. For about 60, 70 minutes, it's going to be an extremely tough game. But I feel in that last 15, 20 minutes, England will really pull away.
Just give us an insight quickly as to what makes Eddie such a good man manager, because a lot of people have said that.
Yeah, I think for me, every morning he'll go into the breakfast room and he'll say good morning to every single person.
Individually or to the
No,
group?
individually. He'll say hello to every single one. It might only be a 5-second chat. Some guys, he might be a bit longer. But then it's how he treats guys. Someone like James Haskell, he has a bit of banter with, because that's his kind of character. Someone like myself, it's just kind of a quiet word. Other guys, it's giving responsibility. Some lads, kicking them. But look, he knows how to get the best out of people, and that is his biggest skill.
That's a real talent as well, isn't it? To be able to understand different personalities within the squad and relate yourself to a whole array of lads.
Yeah, look, and he's very experienced. He's been around the world. He's been with international teams, club teams, and he's seen a lot. And it's always it's very disrespectful. I think the media in this country are pretty bad, and when they start getting stuck into him, and because things haven't gone well, he is the right man for the job, and he definitely has the full support of all the players.
Love that. I love that. Let's talk about the fact that he actually coached Japan. Is there any sporting etiquette that says, oh, you can't give away secrets from another team that you've managed? Or will he be like, right, lads, this is what we did against South Africa. This is how we need to attack. You've got to look out for this guy. This guy's good at this. Well, how does a guy who's coached an opposing team, how does he manage the team that he's with now when they go and face his old team who he was so passionately managing before?
I haven't been into camp, but yeah, you definitely use the knowledge you have.
Right.
So look, I mean, he's gone out publicly and said we're going to smash him today, and
He
they
has.
should go and pray.
He has, yeah.
So look, I don't think he's holding anything back today. He wants a great result, and out of respect for Japan, he wants to really put our team out there and show what we're about. But look, whenever you play another guy that you know, of course you're going to use that inside knowledge, and because the team you're playing for, that's what counts.
Yeah.
It's not about the other guys or the opposition. It's about getting your side to win and the best possible shape.
We want a win. All right, let's go to some questions from everyone in the Blue Room. Hi, what's your name? Where are you from?
I'm Abigail and I'm 10 years old and I'm from Burgess Hill. And my question is, when did your career start and who is your idol?
Very good.
I got picked up by Harlequins when I was about 17, so I went into the academy.
Were you a big lad then at 17?
I was probably bigger than normal, but I wasn't that bulky. But then, unfortunately, in my first couple of years, I had some serious injuries. I broke my foot twice, my leg, my knee ligaments, my hands. So it allowed me to spend a lot of
What
time.
game were
in
you
the gym.
playing?
I
Yeah,
remember,
sure that wasn't like your hobby skateboarding where you broke everything. It's like,
I remember my
like
mum.
Evil Knievel.
My mum gave me some great motherly advice. She was like, "Well, why don't you just drink some more milk?" I was like, "Thanks, mum, but I think there's a bit more to it."
Yeah.
So look, even when I got to about 21, it wasn't then till I started to really break into the team and properly play. So look, it's never too late. There are people who have played rugby, like me, from the age of about 6, and there's people like Courtney Laws who have come into rugby about 15, 16 years old. So no, it's never too late to get into the game.
And who did you look up to? Who were your rugby idols?
Rugby idols probably Lawrence Alali and Richard Hill.
Yeah.
Grew up watching the kind of the 03 generation, the 03 era. And luckily I've got to know both of them quite well now. They're both great guys.
All right, this little lady at the stand here has a question as well. What's your name?
Isabel. I'm age 11. I'm from Burgess Hill, and my question is, what time did you start rugby? Like, how old were you?
How old? Yeah, so I was about 6 years old. Or I've been playing rugby as long as I can remember. My grandma used to say she would take me out and I'd just throw myself on the floor because I'd practice getting tackled.
How can we encourage kids to play the game? That's a good question from Southwell in Hertfordshire.
Look, I think all sports is brilliant. I'm a sporty person, and for me, I wasn't extremely academic as a kid. I was very dyslexic, and for me, sport was my happy place. I think with kids, you need to encourage them to do stuff they enjoy. It's not necessarily forcing them to do rugby or sport, or just find out what they love. If it is being in the classroom, if it is being a mathematician, then encourage them with that, embrace them with that. And I think, look, there's brilliant parents out there and brilliant teachers and coaches that I had to work with. Who just gave me that support and said, if you want to do something and if you fully commit to it, we'll support you.
You've got to enjoy it, really, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. And look, I love going out there and playing the game.
Yeah.
And so does everyone out there.
Nice. Elliot from Bude says, how are the new players settling in? Have you heard anything in camp? Who's impressed you so far? What's it like as a newbie going into camp amongst so many veterans and an established team? Can you remember?
I was pretty scared, actually. I was pretty terrified. Even the first couple of times I went into camp, you're just a bit nervous, aren't you? You're going up, and I think we had I remember actually, I got called up to Portugal quite late, and pre-autumn and pre-Six Nations, we go to Portugal as a warm weather camp. And someone was injured, so I came a day late, and I knocked on my door who I was staying with. And Simon Shaw just opened the door in his pants. And I was like, nice to meet you, I'm Chris. And he goes, you're in that room, and I just went to bed. I was like, nice to meet you too. Yeah. He was a great guy, yeah. So look, you get to meet some good people, yeah, but the first couple of times you are a bit intimidated.
And it's good camaraderie as well, isn't it? Because the lads have their coffee club, Jamie George, Elliot Daly, and Danny as well. Try and entertain the lads, keep them all together, keep the camaraderie up, stop the boredom settling in, really, isn't it?
Yeah, look, we're in camp for a long time. Over this period here, the guys would have been in camp for 5 weeks, going home probably a handful of days. So you get to know each other pretty well. You spend a lot of time in hotels, so it's how you keep yourself entertained. Yeah, there's a lot of coffee, there's a lot of FIFA, there's a lot of Jamie and Elliot and Danny doing Anton Deck Productions. Sorry, I should say Vernon K Productions.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Elliot,
Yeah.
I must say, we actually did one where...
Did Family Fortunes, didn't you, I think?
We did, but Jamie George and Danny Kerr at Anton Deck. And they had a guest appearance from Elliot Daly, who was Vernon Kay. I must say...
Very similar.
I must say, it didn't go well, and Vernon Kay never came back.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I get myself out to Japan, I will do a genuine Family Fortunes for the lads. That would be hilarious. Yeah, we'll sort that out. That would be fab. Now, speaking of roommates, you mentioned your first experience in camp. Who's been your worst roommate? Who's been your best roommate on tour, and why? That's from Nigel from Leighton Buzzard.
Best roommate, Dan Cole. I've been with him
I
for...
love Dan Cole. I'll be honest with you, I have a man crush on Dan Cole.
He's very dry, isn't he?
Oh my gosh, he is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've actually been sharing rooms for about 6 years around the world. And he got married one summer, I think it was pre-World or post-World, pre-World Cup. And I had actually spent more nights with him since his wedding night with him than his wife had.
No way.
Yeah, so he's brilliant to have around and stuff, and always brings a smile out of you.
It must be nice when you've got a roommate where you can come in, have a chat, put the day to bed, so to speak, and then carry on with normal life chat.
Yeah, exactly. And I
Like,
think
who's your electricity provider? That kind of conversation. You know
with
what I mean?
Collier, it probably would be that. Yeah. And I think that's a great thing about this England squad at the moment. They're getting to that level where they're very good friends on and off the pitch, and I think it's showing in the way the guys are going out there and playing.
Yeah.
They're enjoying each other's company, and they want to defend for each other. They want to attack together, and they want to get the best out of each other, and it's definitely showing.
It seems like we're playing really free-flowing rugby without any thought going into what they're actually doing. It just seems all second nature now.
Yeah, it is, and I think with the more guys playing, most guys now are getting over that 50 cap mark. They're experienced internationals. They've been around the world. They've had the highs, the lows, and they know what it's about. And I think now, and look, like we said, Eddie's always spoken about the World Cup. That's his goal, and we're getting to a very good level at the moment.
All right, Chris Robshaw, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Chris Robshaw. Yes. Make sure you keep your eye on all of the O2 socials today. We're going to watch the bus arrive. We'll watch the players arrive. We've got loads of stuff coming up this afternoon as well in the O2 Blue Room. And, of course, we'll have some players after the game here for a live and exclusive chat post-game. But for now, enjoy, and we'll see you after kick-off.